Good day, everybody. Welcome to my channel, and today we're going to do Glimmer from She-Ra and the Princess of Power. Let's get started. Okay, so here are the lovely materials that we're going to be using today. To start off with, you're going to need a light purple stretch sweater. You're going to need a light pink wig, a royal purple knit fabric. You're also going to need a white pair of gloves, as well as a small light blue acrylic gem. You're also going to need some Instamorph, which is a moldable plastic. You're also going to need some light purple paint. Also, you'll need some craft foam in white, blue, and a light purple, a light blue fabric, a bodysuit that you can use for tracing, and that's all the materials. To start off with, you're going to take your dark purple stretch fabric, you're going to lay it out on the floor, and you're going to fold it in half like a hamburger. Then you're going to take your bodysuit and lay it on top, and basically you're going to use it as an outline for the purple bodysuit that Glimmer wears. You're only going to cut about knee length. When you sew the two sides together, make sure that you're sewing the bodysuit inside out. So right now this is the matte side where it's not so shiny, but if I flip it over, this is a much shinier side. So make sure you sew the matte sides together, then turn it inside out, and then you'll have the nice shininess that you have here. This is what your suit's gonna look like. Remember, you only need to go to about the knee. So once you get to that point, you just sew the two sides together and make sure that when you flip it inside out that the shiny side's on the right side. Next up is the cape. I took a light blue fabric, some light blue tulle with some glitter on it, and basically you're just gonna put the two together. Here's how I did it. You take the light blue fabric, you're gonna lay it down flat, and for the shape of the cape, it's basically a cape with a big point in the middle to where they have two triangles on the end, but you put one on top of the other, sew along the outsides, and this is how your cape is going to turn out. Mine turned out a little too big, so I had to end up folding it with the amount of time I had, but make sure you get the measurements as big as you need them. Make sure you really measure your shoulder length and shoulder width, and you should be good to go. Next portion will be the lovely gloves. I didn't have a pair of fingerless gloves, but if you have them, basically all you gotta do if you don't have the gloves, you just cut off the little fingers here, and after you cut off the fingers, you're just gonna put them in a dye bath. I used Rit Dye More in their color Kentucky Sky, and that'll turn into your lovely light blue gloves, which I love. These are how my gloves came out compared to other pairs of gloves, but basically you do the dye bath per instructions and you're good to go. Now, I didn't film me doing this next part, but I'm going to show you exactly what I did to make the tunic. So essentially, this used to be one big sweater, stretch sweater, and basically what I did, I took the sleeves off, and so the sweater's going to look like that, and any sides that were like sticking out and everything, I just sewed them down with a nice stitch. Then I took the sweater and we folded it in half. Now make sure you do this correctly, because if you don't, you will mess up terribly. So essentially, you fold it. We're going to fold it this way. fold it this way to where if I still had the arms here, it would lay flat like this. This is the back of your shirt, this is the front of your shirt. You want the front of your shirt sticking outwards, and essentially you just make a line, cut it in half so it's nice and open. So when you reopen it, it's going to look just like that with a nice split down the middle. And then of course you fix up any of your edges with another stitch. But essentially that's how I did the tunic. And now I'm going to show you how I made the little, I'll call circle on her little shirt here. For the circle that goes on her shoulder, you basically just take some light blue craft foam. You cut 3 circles. You cut a big one, a smaller one, and then a really small one. And I didn't use a heat gun, but basically what you can do, you apply some heat and you can mold this down to where it sort of bends down and make sure that all the layers are glued down. But for me, I just left it flat and it still worked out. To glue it to my shirt, I just took some simple super glue and glued it on, and it stayed the whole time. Next up, I will show you how to make the gem. You're gonna need Instamorph, which is a moldable plastic. I made a little nugget here, and if I put it next to this nickel, if I were to flatten it out, it'd probably be about the size of a nickel. But that's generally how big you want it. And this is the little gem that's going to be the center of the gem here. And I'll show you guys how to work with this stuff in just a moment. First, you wait on your water to heat up, and then you're just gonna drop this little guy in. Then after a while, your water is going to boil, but you don't really need it on a boiling high setting. You just want it enough to where it gets all nice and clear like this. And now I'm gonna show you how to mold it. Okay, so to mold, you're just gonna take it between your fingers. So first you're gonna make it flat. Kind of stretch it out into a diamond shape. If you mess up, that's okay. You just throw it back in the water and then try it again. So make it into a ball and then slowly start just pinching the sides till you get this kind of diamond shape, and you just keep going nice and flat till it's that shape you want. So this is the diamond shape we sort of want. And then to make the gem, you just put this in the middle, like so. And indent on the back. Just press it in like that. And it'll have a nice indentation. Nice indentation of where the gem was. After you make your gem indentation, you're going to run it under some cold water until it turns nice and nice and white again. Then basically after it's all nice and white, you're going to paint this like a turquoise blue, and then you stick your gem on with pretty much anything. I've tried super glue as well as hot glue, but once you do that, you'll have your little diamond shape. Yay! Next up, we're going to be working with the light pink wig. So first off, you're gonna take your wig, push all the hairs down, and try to get it as fluffy looking as you possibly can, because I feel like Glimmer's hair tends to be pretty fluffy and flowy, like the wind just carries with her. But after that, you're just gonna start pulling everything to the side, because her hair tends to go sideways. And you're just gonna keep doing that until you get the shape you want. And you take your Got To Be Free spray, and you're gonna spray down all the sections where her hair pokes out. And you're just gonna take your hands and just pull it in until it stays nice and straight and sticking outwards. And basically from there you just keep on going until you have the shape that you want your hair to look like. Next up is the purple underside of her hair. I didn't have dye, so I just took some light purple paint and just painted on the hair until I felt it had enough layers. Then you take a comb after it sticks a little and just comb it on through the fibers. So make sure this is a wig that you don't mind getting messy, but after the paint dries, you're all done with the wig. Next are the shoes, and I'll explain how I did each piece one at a time. For the purple part of the shoe, you're essentially going to need two shapes. You're going to need these, I'll call them half cones, where they go up like this. You make a straight line, they go up, they curve out, make it curve over, and then go back down. You do that also for the back, but make sure the back side is a little bit taller than the front, just so it looks kind of even. And then just a simple rectangle shape that'll go in the front of the shoe here. For the light blue parts of the shoe, you just need a half circle, which is a straight line, and then you curve it. Same thing for the back. You straight line and curve it, and make sure they're about the same size so you get that nice proportion. And for the sides, they're just essentially wings, so you start off with just a straight line that curves up, and you make 1, 2, 3 bumps, and that's how you get the little wings here. And of course, the white part of the shoe is the moon. So you just make a C, like so, and then connect it backwards. I'm so hard holding this in my hand, but essentially you just connect it backwards, and that's how you get your moon shape. To put it on the shoe, I heated it up with a heat gun, and basically you just stretch, you really put your groove in it, stretch over the shoe until the pieces are nice and flat against your shoe. Make sure you're using a short boot when you're making the shoe, just because she doesn't have real tall boots. They go to about her ankle, so you need ankle boots. And essentially, once you glue everything on, this will be how your shoe looks. For the, I'll say, lining of the shoe, I essentially just took some of the fabric that we used from our sweater and just glued it to the bottom here. My shoes are so old, they didn't really hold on to it well, but they look better in pictures, trust me. But essentially, that is how you make your shoe. For the little arm sleeve, I lost the original one that I had made for Glimmer, but essentially you can just get a gray or a white colored fingerless glove with like no hands on it, and you just slip that on your arm. And now I'm going to show you the makeup portion. Alright everyone, first we're going to put on our primer. Primer is always a good place to start, and I've slowly been learning that over the past few months, but it's very helpful, keeps your face moisturized, it's not going to be dry or anything, and your makeup will stick on a lot nicer once you get that on. Next is a quick pop in of our contacts, and now we're just gonna put on some foundation slash concealer, though I mainly use concealer nowadays. I barely use powders, just cause I always have a hard time with powders sticking to me. But you just take the concealer and smother on all the dark parts of your face and just get everywhere that you feel you need it. Then you pat it down with your finger or a brush if you have it. I just tend to use my fingers because it's easier for me. And after that, we will continue. Next is our contour stick. We're going to define our best traits, which is our nose, as well as my cheekbones and underneath my chin. Best way to find your cheekbones is to pucker your lips a little bit, and the top part where you can see the bone is where you need to contour. Next is our mascara. You're gonna take a pencil mascara and put it on the bottom part of your eye, and once you do that, then you're going to use a actual pen mascara and do that for the top of your eye. Glimmer's eye shape is luckily a simple wing, which all you have to do is start off in the corner of your eye, go outwards, and then you make a straight line, and just basically you work around that line to make it point sort of upwards, because that's how her eye her eye wing looks. It goes upwards. Then a quick pop on of some lipstick. I used a nude color since Glimmer's lips does not have any color on them at all, so it's best to use a nude color that blends into your lip very well. Then we're gonna pop on some blush. Just take some blush and start from one end of your face and go to the other, and just really blend it out. Make sure your cheeks pop nice and pretty. Then we're gonna pop on our eyelashes, and now we're gonna put on some mascara to make those eyelids really shine and poke outward to fluff at you and make them look super pretty. Next, we're going to paint on our eyebrows. You do not have to paint. I originally just used simple eyebrow makeup in my original photos, which you'll see at the end, but I also wanted to give this tutorial just in case someone else wanted a different option. So first what we're going to do is swipe our eyebrows upwards, because her eyebrows tend to be in like a triangle shape, and then we're going to take some Elmer's school glue, the kind on a stick, and we're just gonna glue our eyebrows down. Then you're just gonna chill and wait for about 5 minutes. Make sure they're nice and tacky. And now we're going to draw the outlines of the eye, which are black. And so I just took one of my eyeliners and just painted on the outside of my eyebrow to get that triangle shape we're looking for. And you just start at the bottom or in the side, make a straight line going down, and then at the bottom you're going sort of across and like that triangle shape, and later on I'll show you how to fill in the insides. While you're waiting, feel free to put on some extra glue just so your eyebrows stay nice and tacked down. And next I will show you how to fill the eyebrows in. So now we're going to take our light purple paint after our glue has dried, and we're going to paint right in the middle of where the eyebrows are, because her eyebrows are actually purple. So just take your paint on top of your eyebrows, and just fill it in until you feel it's full enough. Then once it's filled enough, you take the eyeliner again and you're going to slide down over the top so you get that nice triangle shape of her eyebrows, and you do that on both sides. And the last thing we have to do is set it all with some setting spray. So you put some feet away from you, spray your face, and then you're just gonna fan it out. And now we are ready for the big reveal. This is your lovely outfit from head to toe. I was so happy. It was a last minute project, and I was so glad it turned out the way it did. Definitely, if I were to do it again, I'd probably have something to maybe hold in my stomach a little, but that's just personal preference if you're into things like that. But I was even proud to wear her again after all that time, and it's only been a year. But these are my professional photos. They were taken by Indigomyst photography, which I will put in the link in the description. I hope you all enjoyed my tutorial for what it was. If you have any questions, leave me a comment below, and I will see you guys very soon. Bye bye!